Good morning, viewers. We're here at our panel discussion, and I am Nizal Rosas, your mediator for today's topic event. Will be MTB-MLE, or Mother Tongue-Based and Multilingual Education. But before we start our panel discussion, I'm proud to introduce to all of you our guests for today's event. First, our government sector, Ms. Margie Lovitos. Second, our school representative, Ms. Sheila Magdasal. And our public and private parents, Mrs. Shaira Pitogo and Mrs. Stella Cominguez. Next is our representative from DepEd, Ms. Maricris Mingito. Lastly, our language expert, Ms. Nicole Buo. Let's give them a round of applause. So to start with, I will start first to our government sector. What do you think the struggling part upon implementing MTB-MLE?
Government official, the struggling part in implementing the program or the MTB or MLE program is that the availability of funds, because in implementing a program, we really need to have enough funds to support for the training of teachers, for the materials such as books and other expenses. And the materials and the knowledge of the teachers during training is that it's very useful because in teaching their learners, it is very important that the teachers should be knowledgeable enough, and also the materials that will be used is that very useful in their learners.
Do you agree that MTB-MLE will be implemented in the government?
As a government official, I would agree on the implementation on the MTB-MLE program because we as a holder of the policy, we are the one who will approve on what the DepEd or what the program of the DepEd that they wanted to raise. And also, MTB-MLE help every student, especially the learners from kindergarten up to grade 3. It is important that the learners should know and study first their mother tongue before studying or acquiring another language.
If MTB-MLE will be implemented, what are your ways you're going to use so that this program will be successful?
As one of the DepEd officials, it is our aim to create a program or policy that will strengthen the educational system, enhance the learning capability of the students, and improve the teaching skills of the teachers. By that, the mother tongue-based multilingual education will suit into it. Because I think this program will bridge the gap between the illiteracy of mother tongue and literacy of second language and third language. However, it is not easy to do localization without appropriate support, so the government must take their part to provide sufficient funds and hands-on support system to execute the plan regarding that implementation. And I think the ways that I'm going to pursue is to measure well-defined protocols to assess, monitor, evaluate, and accredit various MTB-MLE activities.
If MTB-MLE will be implemented in your school, what will be the advantage and disadvantages and why?
In implementing mother tongue-based in multilingual education, I think the advantage of it is it encourages active participation by students in the learning process because they will understand what is being discussed and being asked to them. They can immediately use the mother tongue to construct and explain the world, articulate their thoughts, and add new concepts to what they already know. Because according to Clark, in 2000, a strong first language supports the development of a positive self-concept and helps to strengthen the students and the family. And now the disadvantages, which is it will be hard for the student to adjust since they were already being introduced or used to learn in English, which is the second language, and also the schools administrators, we need more funds, and of course financial needs arises and school will need more budget for this program, and the students will go back to the learning process because of this.
As a parent of private student, would you agree if MTB MLE will be implemented?
Oh, honestly, I don't want that MTB MLE to be studied by my child because as a parent, one of the reasons why I enrolled my child in a private school is for my child to master the English language. Whether we like it or not, English is the only language that we can use in practical terms. And actually, practicing the English language in an early stage is a privilege for us. For as what I've said, English language is useful in practical basis of our lives. And if your problem is, what if my child might forget our native language? It wouldn't be a problem for my child isn't at school 24/7, and also my child can still socialize with a lot of people, and in that way my child can understand our first language. I just don't want my child to experience what some foreign people in our countries is experiencing right now. Like they have to pay thousands of money just to learn English language, and that made me think that they are now paying money just to learn the English language, maybe because in their country they wanted to preserve their first language and gave less importance to the English language, which is, we can't deny that it is the most useful language. That's why it was called as the universal language. So English is the universal language.
Same question with her. As a parent of a public school student, would you agree?
Yes, ma'am, because as a mother of a grade 2 pupil, I can say that through mother tongue-based multilingual education, it helps my child to excel in school because she can understand easily, and also she can boost her confidence by communicating with other people because she knows she can explain well.
As a language expert, what will be the effect of the student if the MTB MLE will be implemented?
As a linguist, a person who studies language, I'm very specific with vocabulary, grammar, the sound of language, and lastly, the most important part is how words evolve over time. I'm on the positive side of implementing mother tongue-based multilingual education, or the MTB MLE program. In 2002, August, Calderon, and Carlo discovered that once the cognitive capabilities underlying skills in reading and writing in the first language have been fully developed, they can be applied to the learning of another language. On the other hand, Dorganoglu, Naglo, and Hanambath in 1993 discovered the first language learning and experience can aid, help, and motivate children in the beginning stages of reading. For students, it affects cognitive development so that it improves intellectual activity. The next one would be reading readiness. Third one would be socio-cultural development. The fourth one would be produces better and faster learners. Furthermore, since language and culture coexist, cultural heritage is also preserved.
Thank you, guests. Viewers, I hope you've learned something today. Thank you. Bye.